Thank you so much, Fisayo Dairo, for joining us at this time for this conversation.
Thank you for having me here and my friend here.
Great to have you. I can see you donning the black jersey. Please, does it signify anything from this result with Nigeria and Zimbabwe?
Not really, but at least I think it's fit for the occasion because we are halfway into mourning the demise of our World Cup tickets, right?
Oh, you're calling it a dead and gone mission.
No, I said we're halfway there. We're halfway not going to the World Cup. Yeah.
All right, we're just laughing about this, but I think this is a serious issue that a lot are really concerned about. Fisayo, let me begin with you, because with just 7 points, it's 7 points from 6 matches, and we've got 4 to go. Qualification now looks like it's going to be a distant dream for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So let's discuss what went wrong yesterday. Fisayo, you were at that stadium, you were inside the main bowl. What really went wrong yesterday in Uyo?
Well, I think a lot has been said, and there is nothing I want to say again that people have not heard already. So we all know what went wrong. I think we underestimated the Zimbabweans. Although we started the game well, like Michael Nish said, but you know, when you are playing a game that you really want to go for, that you know that the opponent are capable of causing you harm. I felt the players would have done more than they did, especially in the first half. You know, so, and when we also scored, I felt we slowed the game down, which was wrong. We could have gone for a second goal while keeping our shape. That's what teams do, top teams do. You know, because we led 2-0 in Rwanda, and in the second half, we started slowing the game down as early as the 75th minute. So, yesterday we scored in the 74th minute. And the same thing played in the heads of the players. Instead of trying to get a second, we were 2-0 up in Rwanda, not 1-0 up. If we were slowing the game down at 1-0 in Rwanda, we would concede. Because one of the tweets that you highlighted on the show just now said that the Zimbabweans were not attacking much, but anytime they attack, they look like scoring. So if you are playing such a game, you cannot rest on 1-0.
Okay.
So we immediately started passing from back, and then finally what went wrong? 85th minute, when Osimhen was going to leave, that was the time that the coach would say, okay, it seems my players cannot score a second goal. Let me hold on to what I have. But there was no point in him replacing Osimhen with another attacker in Boniface. Why?
Right.
Because we have enough attackers on the pitch.
All right, we'll get into that Osimhen conversation and his substitution. But at this time, we have played 6 games. We've played 3 at home, 3 away. Of course, we drew 4, we lost 1, and we won 1. But in these whole 6 games, we've played with 4 coaches, unfortunately. Yes, of course, it began with Jose Posero, then we moved down to Finidi George, then we had Cerezo. Though Cerezo did not play any of the World Cup qualifiers before moving on to the Malian coach, Chelle. All 3 home games ended in draws. That's really not a good one for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But if the Super Eagles cannot beat Zimbabwe at home, do we really deserve? Damiloji, let me begin with you. Do we really deserve to go to this 2026 FIFA World Cup? Other African teams are scoring goals, bags of goals. Do we really deserve if we cannot beat Zimbabwe?
The short answer is no. If you cannot beat a team like Zimbabwe at home, if you play 3 matches at home and you cannot get a victory, you really do not deserve to be at the World Cup. Because these are the kind of matches that should be your bread and butter. These are the kind of matches that you should be taking points off. If at the end of these qualifiers we're able to boast of 7 points in our home matches, I'm not even saying win everything, then you can say, okay, you've made your home a fortress and you're trying to see whether you can pick points away. But we've been disappointing at home. No disrespect to the teams in our group. Who is Lesotho? Who is Zimbabwe? Who is Benin? Who is even Rwanda, Nigeria, and South Africa?
Yes, there's somebody now.
They are the only African champions in this group, Nigeria and South Africa, but we've not played anywhere close to the level that we expect from Nigeria. So I don't think it is such a shame. Sorry, it's not such a shock, rather, that we find ourselves in the position we are.
All right, Fisayo, I knew that that lackluster performance at the back will eventually hurt us because I watched that game. A performance that epitomized the likes of William Troost-Ekong, who was that half-heated tackle. I didn't even know what he was doing at that time when did he lose focus after we had that goal by Osimhen? How can the Super Eagles fix their defensive and midfield problems? It's to fail.
Well, you know, the most annoying part of the goal we considered was that we had a warning. After we scored, 3 minutes later, they went on an attack and they hit the crossbar. Could have easily been a goal. And that's why I won't blame the blame. I won't pin the blame on Ekong. Yes, Ekong made that error. But maybe I'm someone that I don't think much.
Because if Ekong had marked him, I don't think we would have had this goal. The way we saw how this played out, if Ekong had done his job, yes, we wouldn't have that goal because even Iwobi was caught unaware.
Yeah, you know, I want to tell you what a coach will tell you, right? Ekong made the error, right? But I will not pin it on Ekong, really, because he was tired. And I've always believed that Ekong is not a back four defender. He struggles playing a back four. He fits better in the back five. But let's leave that. So that was where I was coming from in my last comment. At that point, our full backs, Bright Osai, Ola, you know, they were tired. They were exhausted. The centre back, Troost-Ekong, was tired.
What is causing the whole tiredness? Fisayo, I'm sorry to butt in because I really want to understand and make sense of these tiredness. We played our last game on Friday and we have another on Tuesday. What's causing this whole tiredness?
What caused the tiredness is the system of the coach. I said it after the first game. We won in Rwanda, but that system is not practicable for the Super Eagles. Remember in Kigali, after 67 minutes, all I know was substituted. He was exhausted. After 76 minutes, Bright Osai was substituted. You know, the runners on the pitch, I could see Ndidi. He ran all through. Iwobi ran all through. That's why they got booked in that game in Kigali. It was demanding physically on them. And I tell you, such a game, you cannot sufficiently recover in 3 days. You cannot. So that game yesterday, the coach ought to know that. As at the 60-something minutes, I Aina again holding his thighs. Even
Osai Samuel at the final whistle, yes.
No, even before then, before we scored. You know, I was right there in the stadium. Sometimes the TV might not show them, but I could see the players. So that was the point the coach needed to inject fresh legs to help their legs. Look at that Zimbabwean goal yesterday. We are all focused on Ekong, that mistake, right? But a good analyst, a good coach will ask himself, the Zimbabweans began the build-up from their half. They had like 6 passes. Why was there no Nigerian player to stop those passes before it got to the box? That's the biggest question. Not Ekong mistiming his tackle and then they beat him. A good coach will say, why didn't I nip it in the bud before they got to the penalty box? That's where his substitutions failed us.
All right, Daniel, you help me make sense of the decision by Chelle. Osimhen comes to the fore right now. He was taken off at the 85th minute, and you get to introduce another striker. When there were just 2 midfielders on the pitch and 3 attackers already. So help me make sense. What's the rationale behind that decision by Chelle? Did it really cost us?
It did. Personally, this is one of the issues I had with Chelle and what happened yesterday. I had a bit of an issue with the starting 11, especially because I felt Bruno Yemichi should have played at left back and move Aina to right back. But we were still leading for majority of the game, so I'm not going to dwell too much on that. Game management cost us yesterday. Game management. And we've heard a lot about Chelle saying, oh, he wanted confidence from his players and that they attacked. You need to understand where the one goal you have is worth more than a potential +2 goal difference if you go and get another goal. I know goal difference is going to be very important in these World Cup qualifiers, especially because there's a situation where you can end on the same points with someone like South Africa. But we needed to shore up our 1-0 advantage yesterday Osimhen was cramping. Osimhen had run himself into the ground. You needed to make a tactical substitution that gave you more legs, like Fisayo said, gave you better defensive solidity, and eventually that cost us yesterday.
Okay, Fisayo, I saw the whole reaction from Victor Osimhen after the game. Yes, he threw tantrums at Boniface. We did see that on the pitch of play. I really want to know, is Nigeria too reliant on Victor Osimhen? Who else should step up if we do not have Victor Osimhen?
You know, if the remaining players cannot come to the party, then the answer is yes, we are too reliant on him. We played our first 4 matches in these World Cup qualifiers without Osimhen. We could not win any game. He came, in the first game he played, he scored the only goals in the game we won. And the next game, he scored a goal. The moment he left, 85th minute, we conceded. So what is that telling you? The players, you know, the way we rate these players, the way we shout about these players, like they're the best thing after sliced bread, they're the best. But Ademola Lookman has made 6 World Cup qualifiers for Nigeria without any goal. And he's the African Footballer of the Year. Is that not the player that should be carrying the team? Didn't he have some half chances that he could have converted yesterday? Osimhen literally feasted on half chances in Kigali.
Can you imagine?
And then Lookman has played 6 matches against African football poppers, against Lesotho, twice against Zimbabwe, and he couldn't score a goal for us. And these are the players that if a manager now comes, like if we needed it that time, if a manager now comes and says he's not playing good well enough for me, I will bench him, and you now start insulting the manager. What have these players done now? So we are simply too reliant on him because Osimhen has shown that he's the only top-class player in our team. You can be the African best as much as you can. You can be the best players in Fulham. See the miss by Iwobi from 3 yards yesterday. So you can be the best at your club, but for our country, you are poverty players. It's as good as God. Okay. The only player that has stood up to be counted in this generation has been Victor Osimhen.
Okay,
and it's there for us to see.
Okay, I know that Victor Osimhen out of I think Iwobi, Ndidi, William Troost-Ekong, they have been the trio that have been to the World Cup before. They've been able to feel the whole atmosphere of a World Cup event. But Osimhen, the other generation of Super Eagles players have not been able. But do you know that Nigeria share a group with South Africa? South Africa, who have got no European League players in their squad. They've got no media hype. They've got no award winners, just like the African Footballer of the Year. Just a good league, that's what they've got, and a good football association. And now they are top of the table with 13 points. Damiloju, how bad is this situation? Because when you see that group alone, when you have to make permutations and you have to calculate all the points, how bad is the situation? It's
very bad for us. We're currently 6 points behind South Africa, and I know there's a lot of talk about whether or not they will get 3 points dogged because of a situation with an ineligible player. Until that is official, we're going to go by what we see on the board right now. The most points that the Super Eagles can get from this World Cup qualifiers is 19, and that is if we win our remaining 4 matches. All South Africa needs to do to ensure that Nigeria does not get as close to them, avoid defeat in the second leg, and win 2 more games.
But let's see the next matches for Nigeria heading up into this World Cup qualifiers. We know that we've got some home away matches there you can see on the screen. We've got Rwanda, we've got South Africa away. Yes, away. It's dawning on us. On the 6th of October, we've got Lesotho there and Benin Republic at home. Is there a possibility, Fisayo, do you see a possibility, or this is a dead situation already?
I honestly don't see a possibility because the team has proved time and time again that they are becoming incapable of winning 2 consecutive games. Look at what South Africa did in this window. They have won 2 games consecutively. So to be at the World Cup, you need consecutive wins. This was the best window for us. We played our most difficult game first, away to Rwanda, and then just win it and claim your consecutive points. We will be second by now. So like Damiloju rightly analyzed, we need to win 12 points in our remaining 4 games. That's all the games, while South Africa only need 6 points to be clear of us. Why? So they just get a draw against us. And when I look at the fixture schedule, from now I can tell you, in September, we go to Rwanda. We host Rwanda in New York. If Osimhen is around, we will win, right? But we will not beat South Africa in the next game. And because that has been the pattern. Once even in the AFCON qualifier that we qualified with a game to spare, we still did not win 2 games back to back. Once we win a game in New York, the next game you know they are going to draw. Or you know they are going to get the results worse than they got in New York. So that's the summary of why we don't deserve. And at this point, as optimistic as I have always been, it's not worth every Nigerian stress. Yeah, so Nigerians will start thinking of World Cup between now to September. No, let's face European clubs. Let's face MPFL and be enjoying ourselves. These ones, they are done and dusted. It's not my career. Boniface, Osimhen, Lookman, Bassi, they've never been to the World Cup. Yeah. I have been to 2 World Cups.
Wow.
In my own,
Take your flowers, bro.
So I will be in 2026 if I want to be there. So it's a cup of tea. I can't be, giving myself problems because of their own problems.
All right, I'm giving you your flowers. Yes, of course. They have not been to the World Cup, but you have been to 2. Come on now, they should get size. Yes, of course. But Fisayo, this question is for you because I want to go straight bullets right now. You must touch everybody. I know that we've gotten to the point where supporters club, if they are not still rolling out the same tired, are they not tired? The same tune all the time. Can't they just compose another song for Osimhen? Maybe that's the reason why we keep, not performing, especially on the home turf. Come on, 15 years, same song. 20 years, same song. What is the problem? Shouldn't there have been another song by now composed by the supporters club? Or what are they even doing there? It's stray bullet anyway.
Oh, yeah, Nigeria, we are not that creative in some things we should be creative.
Wow.
For,
I'm a Nigerian, Fisayo. Come on.
Yeah,
you gave me stray bullets too.
For instance, the Osimhen chant, it's even spontaneous. It's not always a supporters club something. It's the fans. Because I always tell people whenever Osimhen is around in New York, expect a full stadium. It was filled to the brim yesterday. A lot of people didn't even have places to sit. Because Osimhen alone is the one that has shown time and time again that the games are worth watching. Now, so for the supporters club, why we always chant Osimhen? Can't we also, whenever a player does something good, can we also say Iwobi, or indeed, like yesterday?
I'm asking the same question. I'm asking the same question.
So, but like I said, we lack creativity. Ndidi was very, very exceptional in the first half yesterday. What about at that point? We have some chance of Ndidi. Ndidi. We just to appreciate the lad. And there was a time Osimhen was starved of the ball. He ran after like 2 Zimbabweans, chased the ball, won the ball back, and then we had a chance. Osimhen is too monotonous, but we are not creative.
Yeah.
That's why the same song they sing. When I started watching the Super Eagles in the early 90s, it's a miracle working God, they still play to the stadium.
Don't you think it's because this current Super Eagles of Nigeria is not giving them something to, sit and compose a new song about? Don't you think? Is it their performance?
Ideally, new songs come out during major tournaments. But we've had the AFCON tournament. How many new songs did you see? So but during qualifiers, you can do chants. Look at like when we watch games in England, the supporters club, we do that drum, pam, 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 England. So you get all the players. Okay, there's so much love in Nwabali, but they still never thought about something they can sing about Nwabali in the stadium. So it's just a compelling lack of creativity for the supporters club. Okay,
that's a message to the supporters club of Nigeria. Come on, you can do better. Now, while we're here, being bothered about their absence or likely absence away from the 2026 World Cup, the Super Eagles stars, see, I'm sorry to use pidgin, they don't send you. You're just having a headache on you, that matter. Super Eagles stars like Iwobi and Aina, they have taken to social media to reassure Nigerian football community that the team, they have confidence, they have all that they can, that the team will qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, the draw on home style, it really dealt a blow to Nigeria's qualification hopes, which left the 2013 AFCON champions 4th in Group C with 7 points from 5 matches, 6 points behind group leader South Africa in a bid to lift the spirits of Nigerians and football faithful. They sent a message that would make it to this World Cup. Do not worry. See, these two are the host of the Angels in the Super Eagles squad, and they say, don't worry, leave it and sleep. Don't worry, vibes can't done. We will make World Cup in the mighty name of Jesus. He has gone spiritual. He's the prophet of the team, and he has gone spiritual. So, Fisayo, anything he says, Damiloju, anything he says will happen. Do not worry. Okay. Please, Damiloju, you can see that. Two mighty men in the Super Eagles squad have spoken. They've prophesied. Okay. Damiloju, come on.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Fisayo mentioned how the supporters club always think he's a miracle working God, and then he will be saying in the mighty name of Jesus we'll make it to the World Cup. The unfortunate thing is we can do our business and we will still not be at the World Cup. It's out of our hands. I can remember 2006, we were expecting favors from other teams against Angola. It didn't work out. I think I'm going to take Fisayo's advice. Watch the Super Eagles game. No put mind for there. Just watch it, support your country, and know that there's a huge possibility that in 2026 we will not be at the World Cup.
I have written over 200 stories from the World Cup, but Iwobi has been to only World Cup.
Wow!
One World Cup.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Fisayo Dairo. I think it's not something for us to worry about. Nigeria was not at the Qatar World Cup in 2022. If we do not make the World Cup again, I don't think anybody will miss us, isn't it?
Nobody.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We'll be hoping that at the second window, where the Super Eagles have their 4 remaining games to play, they'll get serious and give us what we want. Though we're not that hopeful, but we know anything, miracle can happen, as they say. Let them bring the miracle, like Iwobi did say, in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you so much, Fisayo, for joining us on In the Game today. We appreciate your thoughts concerning the Super Eagles game.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. Pleasure. Damiloju, the conversation was keep going on and on about performance of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We saw the way the coach of the side, he needed water. I think Daniel Ogumodede did not do his due diligence yesterday. He was supposed to, recreate it from the AFCON, but he was, distracted with something else. But at the end of the day, this performance is what we are left with from the Super Eagles.
Unfortunately, that's where we are right now. Yeah. There was a part of me that did a calculation before this round of matches, and I knew exactly what we needed. Mathematically, it's still possible, but just protect your heart. Save your mental health. You don't want to be in the hospital because of BP issues. Nigeria is going to play 4 other matches. We have 2 more international windows. As you see, I'm going to take up.
Yes, so we're ready to take it any way it comes.